How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Dice Checks. Morvar is back with us here. How's it going, buddy?
I'm good. I'm not stuck in a cage anymore.
We let him out for good behavior. He did good. He did good last time. But today we're gonna get a little creepy. We're gonna be talking about monsters. I'm Zen, and this is Morvar. This is the Monster Manual. So roll initiative because we're gonna get into it. Let's go. All right, ready to hit this?
Yeah.
All right. So the Monster Manual, which we touched up on in episode 2, has awesome stuff in it. But we're gonna highlight some of our favorites, some ones that we haven't got to use, some of the ones we love, some we're changed with. And at the end of this, we're gonna go into.
Oh, wait, that's my part.
Get back in the cage!
Alright. So, starting this video off, there's been a ton of videos about this online. Let me just find it so that I don't embarrass myself.
This is my tabbing system we're using, so
yeah.
let me find this stuff.
But, yeah, so, I mean, there's a ton of videos online about this, but I don't care. So, I want to talk about beholders. How freaking awesome are those guys?
They are awesome, they are terrifying, and nothing makes the players more nervous than something with one eye. With also several little ones.
Yeah. I mean, just...
Yeah, it's on the title.
Just look at this guy. I mean, look at this guy.
Look at this guy.
I mean, Jesus.
That's my reaction when I see these as a...
Yeah, just... But, now, why do I love beholders? Well, because they're some of the most deeply seated, a-holes in the entire, D&D pantheon.
Mm-hmm. If you don't know a lot about beholders, they're very, ironically enough, they're very, lack of a better word, they're very, genocidal when it comes to other races. That they think they're superior in every which way.
Neo-Nazis, perhaps.
Yes. And if you're not with them, as in you're not working for them, you're not ever going to be with them, then you are a problem, and problems need to be eradicated. But,
I mean, think The Godfather, but if instead of, Marlon Brando, it's Adolf Hitler. Yeah. So,
what's scary about these guys, they're super intelligent. To the point where they can sometimes even get their way into normal society undercover.
Yeah, it's super intelligent and super dangerous.
Yes, these things can petrify you, freeze you, throw you into walls, and the favorite thing is that good old anti-magic cone.
Oh my God.
If this thing's looking at you, your spells don't work.
Yeah. Because every last one of these creepy little eyes, if you can even see that, every last one of these creepy little eyes, it does something different.
Mm-hmm. What's cool is also, this is a very generic one, but these things come in every which way. Even the iris colors and pupils, they have all kinds of ones, and you can customize them in other books. They have charts that let you, it's like, oh, yeah. All right, these guys have shark teeth and snake eyes, and their irises are hazel.
Which, now that I think about it, you just remind me, did you know that, of all the creatures that are actually based on mythology and all that kind of stuff, in D&D books, the Beholder is one of the few creatures in the pantheon that was not inspired by something else.
I did not know that.
That was totally just.
I did not know that. I knew that about.
That's debatable, but the story goes,
I did not know that. I knew that sort of about the ballet, that it was based off of a crappy-looking dinosaur toy. But I didn't know that about the Beholders, actually.
Yeah, I mean, just Google the original art of them, and you can see it was.
And now I got this.
Yeah. So, you next, buddy.
All right. I am going to be a total obvious one, and I'm going to hit dragons. I love dragons. I loved dragons before I started playing Dungeons & Dragons. I find the concept of this really intelligent, raining hellfire of destruction very cool. And Dungeons & Dragons does an amazing job of fleshing them out.
I mean, dragons is in the name.
Yeah. Look at this guy. This is a ancient black dragon. This is a nasty little son of a gun. He is naturally evil, as all of basically the dragons are split between metallic colors and regular colors. And these guys, being non-metallic, are always naturally bad. They're all dragons are naturally very greedy, mm-hmm. and they hoard everything and stuff like that. But these guys take it to the negative sense where they're especially like to hoard stuff. Black dragons in particular actually love to inflict pain and torture.
Yeah.
These guys are nasty. But they have all kinds of them. I mean, green dragons, these are the really conniving SOBs that just make you want to hate yourself. Red dragons are your classic, rage incarnate. They're very fun. I love white dragons a lot too, because white dragons are these very primal dragons where they're very animalistic rather than the classic highly intelligent version. I love those guys. Blue dragons, I haven't messed with blue dragons. I'll admit you that. If I remember correctly, though, blue dragons are very like militaristic in the sense of, and also like very like fashionable, for lack of a better word. They like to bling it out. Then we have the metallics. The ancient brass is right here. Then we have the bronze.
Isn't there crystal dragons as well?
I don't think they're in this book, but I know if they haven't already been homebrewed, they're somewhere.
Yeah.
But I think I have a special favorite for the gold dragon because I have a mini of it, and that's like, oh.
Yeah, I think I actually do as well. Yeah. Somewhere.
So having a mini of these things is really fun to scare the players. But it's a metallic dragon, so if they're not doing anything terrible, then they should have nothing to worry about. I actually put some dragons in my campaign disguised as dancers. It was these 5 twin girls, and they're all identical except for their hair color. And they even had names correlating to the metallic color, like Sky, Marigold, Penny for copper, etc., etc. And what it was they were these dancers who would just travel the country, very well known, but they were secretly all dragons in disguise. Because in my campaign, I took the very common approach of allowing dragons casting. And dragons would obviously love the spell polymorph. These were the Metal Maiden Dancers, another little slicker at what they really are. No, actually, now thinking about Arendir, hadn't got a chance to mess with them. I might need to reintroduce them soon. All right, what we got next? All right, next on the list we have prepared is the Kobold. I wanted to talk about Kobold because I like minion monsters because they're cannon fodder. A natural trick for DMs is that you don't want to have just one singular boss because they tend to get smoked rapid fire.
Oh, yeah.
So you want minions to kind of give them as body shields.
Especially whenever you realize just how badass players are.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. DMs too.
Yeah.
But I like kobolds especially because I found a way to differentiate them from, say, goblins or any other kind of minion creature that tend to kind of get hodgepodge as the same personality.
Yeah.
I vision all of these guys from the squirrel from Ice Age. They're all just running around screaming, trying to get their nut. And when it doesn't happen, they end up flying away with their arms like this, mouth wide open. And I actually made it so these guys aren't inherently evil. Like I said, they just want to get their due.
That's an interesting idea.
My players actually hired one kobold. Because kobolds are naturally very gifted in tunneling. And they made a friend out of this one. It was actually a lone survivor from a Gorgon attack. Not the lizard, the bull. We'll show you that in another day. But so they ended up persuading it to join them. So it's now in charge of making like a rudimentary irrigation and sewer system for their town.
Right.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it. I don't remember. But it's a very fun thing. And I always, for that one, I like giving it the Scrappy-Doo kind of voice. Just
oh my god. Because we all need reminders of Scrappy-Doo.
Yes, we do. And here's your favorite.
Oh my goodness. And I think you bumped the mic.
No!
It'll be alright. Anyway, so one of the last monsters that we're going to talk about concerning D&D, as for right now at least, is my personal favorite creature of all time, Mind Flayer.
I just realized every time you picked a monster, it went from me doing this to now this.
Yeah.
Next up, I'm going to be doing this.
Now, a little background information. I am a huge Lovecraftian fanboy. I love dark fantasy. I love cosmic horror. I love all that stuff. And Mind Flayers are a clear example of the influence of that particular type of fantasy on the D&D world. These guys are creepy. They're terrible creatures to everybody.
Yes.
They just convert anybody, anything and everything into their race.
Cerebral. The process is really cool. They actually don't reproduce like you'd think. They actually have these little like tadpole versions of them.
Yeah.
That straight up kind of like alien it. They go into your ear And that's where the alien reference completely leaves, because then they actually eat your freaking brain and take that over.
Yeah.
Causing all the... to kind of just spew out. Very creepy, especially when you let your players watch the process.
And...
like I have never done before.
Oh, shenanigans. But... and the thing about mind flayers is that you can do so much with them.
You can even use them as minions. They can classify as a minion level if you wanted.
Yeah.
Who's gonna do that?
Not me. Certainly not me.
Well, you can actually use them as minions if you want to bring out the big boss. The Elder Brain.
Yeah.
The Elder Brain. I can't
Anyway.
do that voice. That voice hurts me.
It's painful to do. But anyway. Yeah. I mean, just think of like the worst imaginable alien invasion type scenario, and you have the mind flayers.
These things are nasty. These things are, I'd almost argue, are sometimes even more intelligent beholders because of just the amount of quantity that these guys can have, where they all just hive mind together. They, in the books, are responsible for several other baddies out there in the D&D world of just scientifically experimenting on creatures until they get what they want.
Yeah, they made mind flayers out of ropers, which are...
I'd like to try that. I have not done it. I have messed with their little pets, though, the intellect devourers.
Oh, man.
Which, that is freaky incarnate as well. It's just a brain with arms and legs that mind jacks you. Literally a head crab.
I love the hell out of these guys.
Oh, man.
And they're the only reason why I can justify spending, over $400 on a bust of like the head of a mind flayer, because I'm just that much.
Yeah, we saw that. A guy had made an actual like trophy for a wall of a mind flayer head, and it was a life size because you could actually try and get the beak on your, like around your head, so it looks like you could take your pictures of.
Links in the description for that.
Probably not as cool looking when there's nothing actually eating your head, huh?
Yeah.
I just did.
Yeah. It'd be alright. I will be sure to highlight that in the end.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Take number, 17 of make Zen look like an idiot. Alright. I wanted to also highlight one I haven't gotten a chance to mess with, but I'm planning to. Yuan T. Snake people. I love these guys because they are like the ultimate spy. They have entire race, sub-races of them bred to infiltrate our societies in the game.
Are these the same as I'm pretty sure I've asked this before, either on camera or off camera, but aren't these guys what they call the Serpent Blood? Or is that something different? I
think so. These guys can be very zealous and very religion-based. So I know there's different factions. I know one of them involves the word serpent. Here's two different versions of them. Literally just kind of a chain of here's very snaky, here's not very snaky, and then here's the spy. That is a snake, believe it or not. Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
I like these guys just because for my next campaign, I'm going to highlight them because they're going to be very intermingled in my D&D society. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be just everybody's out for everybody, not sure who's actually friendly and who's a spy.
Yeah. And
I can't wait for this just tension of these moments where I'm going to reveal that this trusted ally was actually the betrayer and is a snake person.
What a twist!
Which is interesting, actually, because I've been on a very much like a mental XCOM nostalgia moment where I've been thinking of that game, and I'm just reminded of the snake people, the Thin Men from that, and it's just like...
I was playing that the other night, as a matter of fact.
So, that's a lot of our favorites from the book, but let's get into some favorites that we haven't really touched on yet. Some of our homebrews and some of our inspirations for homebrews. Would you like to start us off?
Based on what I just said about the Mind Flayers, you probably would guess that I'm a huge fan of Alien, and you are right, sir. I just love anything Lovecraftian. Anything with like tentacles and a lot of eyeballs is that's just my jam. But the xenomorphs from Alien is just like whenever I really want to pull in the players and really just make them feel like invaded or something like that, like I'll have a situation like where I pull out from a scene from Alien to where like something is like latched on them and is like violating them.
I know what creature you want. and I know you haven't gotten a chance to mess with them, but you need to look into the slad.
Yeah.
They're these like amphibious like frog creatures that when they cut you or bite you, they infect you with a parasite and it literally chest busts you. Yes, and then you turn into one. Like they're nasty. So maybe check that out because I just clicked on that. That's something you'd probably be really into.
And as for the homebrew segment, I've actually, I mean, of course, I love mind flayers, and I just can't not use them. And even like whenever my campaign is in its very early stages, I mean, everybody's like level 3 or 4 or something like that. And one of the homebrews that I actually have made, well, no shit, right? That I made myself is a kind of a, not really necessarily a variant of a mind flayer, but mind flayer-esque. It's this race of beings that kind of jumps in between the different realities at will because they just want to. I don't really have a name for them yet, but they're kind of like the all-seeing, like all-knowing alien beings that just kind of do whatever they please.
They're the all-see. I see the all-see. No. Alright, one of my things that I've added in was I needed a new minion creature. I want to mix it up. Mm-hmm. So I added something I call the Azir.
Yeah.
The Azir were, in my game, an antagonist demon creature enslaved this ancient race of sort of kind of like the whatchamacall from Skyrim, the blind elves that you feel.
God, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
the Falmer.
Falmer, yeah, they're very similar to Falmer, but in the sense that their eyes were literally taken away. They're actually like a blank sheet within teeth, very similar to your xenomorphs. But these things are nasty. There's several different versions of them. There's the Crawler, which is this very like burrowing creature with these like spider legs just coming off, very Doc Ockish. The other thing is they're also just pure white, like almost translucent white.
Uh-huh.
So, and they're just kind of sneaking around you in dark tunnels. Then there's the brute version, which is this like 4-legged quadruped with a giant mutated arm that rushes you. Then there's like the Scion version, which is this very much like floating, levitating creature that can cast psionic abilities on you. Very much your mind flayers.
Yeah.
But the combining factor for all of them was the fact that they have no eyes. Mm-hmm. So the players have to think very carefully on how they're going to mingle with that.
Like some alien isolation type situations.
What's funny you say that because they found the Crawler, because it tended to be burrow and specifically like dark places, they found it had a fear of fire inadvertently. Mm-hmm. So they all of a sudden just all torched up and just like huddled together and circled.
Back away, you filth.
It worked for a little while, and well, I got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one thing. Some things I take from a lot is I love ancient lore, just as many of these are based off of. But I love ancient lore stories. Mm-hmm. It gives me the best idea. Like, I love the stories that we hear all the time from Eastern history and lore. I love Greek history and lore. I don't take a lot from Egyptian yet, because it hasn't had that focus I needed.
Yeah.
But I plan to eventually. I've taken from pretty much everywhere I can that hasn't already been taken from the actual monster manual. This thing is kind of creepy in how close it is to our actual lore in some places.
Yeah. They've pulled out all the stops whenever they were designing like these creatures.
Yeah, and then they even go further to explain them more in the other editions, like Volo's Guide, where they have an entire. They even have a picture of a mind flayer dissection in Volo's Guide.
Really?
Yes.
That I did not know about.
And it's amazing how that process of them changed the entire just structure of the body that was taken over.
I'll have to.
It's really cool.
I guess I know what I'm spending money on.
Hey, yeah, buddy. Oh man. So
anyway, thank you guys for watching. Kind of a.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this, because we always love it when you guys let us know how much you love it. Not really. That sounded so whorish. But actually, though, make sure to comment, though, because I love talking to you guys. And right now I have an idiot trying to sneak up behind me. But anyway. What that was. Yeah, we got him back. Get down there. Go back to your cage. But this has been Dice Check. Have a day by me. Morvar, take us home.
See you guys.